Local met global in Rio de Janeiro in June, and it was a fascinating clash between very different worldviews. A clash that on one hand is constructive and encouraging about how we can get more sustainable development in the world and a better living standard for many more people, but also rather destructive and rather discouraging where that doesn't work. The occasion was the United Nations Sustainability Summit, and it was on the 20th anniversary of the first Great Earth Summit in Rio 20 years ago. Back then, amazing progress was made. There was a much bigger understanding of what sustainable human development needed to look like and real commitment to make change. Out of it came really important UN frameworks like the one on climate change and biodiversity. But of course the world hasn't delivered on those over the last 20 years. So that's one of the reasons why the UN called another summit. And it was amazing to see 50,000 people, heads of state, politicians, government officials, lots of people from NGOs and other areas of civil society come together. This time was very different though. 20 years ago it was the governments that did all the running and civil society played a smaller role. This time the governments were utterly hopeless. 283 paragraphs in the final declaration, every paragraph full of platitudes. This time it was civil society that really came through with an amazing array of commitments to change, very local initiatives and ones that are much more international. So that's what's really encouraging about this global versus local debate. We're trying to solve locally very global issues. So if we can solve them locally, hopefully we can encourage more change in our communities, in our neighbourhoods, and then aggregate that up to embolden our local governments and national governments to do more. And then perhaps we can push our governments to do more internationally. So that's what the great debate is. So come to Unitec August the 15th for the next Forum for the Future to discuss those very issues. Let's make Mount Albert that night a mini Rio de Janeiro. See you there.